Hello there and welcome to this episode of the Southeastern Sports Report presented by State Farm. Alan Waddell and joined, as always, by the athletic director here at Southeastern Louisiana University, Jay Ortiz. And Jay, we've been talking about it, previewed it for the last couple of weeks. Super Lion Saturday has come and gone. It was a great turnout for all events, and all three sports impressed.
You know, I know it's only the second year we've had this, but this thing was, exceeded everybody's expectations. The crowd was fantastic. The spring football game was packed. Baseball game had almost 1,500 people at it. Softball had a great crowd. The 5K was a huge success, but the weather couldn't have been better. And, I take responsibility for the weather.
Yeah, we'll give you the credit for that. The weather was outstanding. I actually had my shorts on and walked away with a little suntan as there at Super Lion Saturday. But let's talk about each sport individually a little bit. First of all, Southeastern softball off to a fantastic start, 9-2 in the Southland Conference.
Yeah, Coach has done a super job of getting the girls ready to play day in, day out. Offensively, we're so good offensively, putting pressure on them, drawing some walks, running the bases, hitting some home runs. And when you're leading that many offensive categories, it takes a lot of pressure off your pitching and your defense, and that's what's happening.
We also had a chance to have 11 Lion seniors compete in Pro Day. It was actually moved from campus down to the New Orleans Saints facility down in Metairie, but 11 former Lion players a chance to take their game to the next level.
Yeah, obviously everybody knew the talent we had on the field the last couple of years, and these seniors had a chance to get out there, display that talent for some of the NFL scouts, and it was impressive. I'll tell you, I think this year we have a chance, like Coach Roberts said, maybe we have 5 kids in camp, and that's a feather in our cap, no question for the university. Anytime you get national publicity, everybody knows about Brian, Ben, and Isaiah Corbett, and Drew Masita, the guys that are stepping up and really doing a good job to put themselves in a position to play on Sundays.
And I know a guy, Chris Malott, really impressed at Pro Day and also the Regional Combine with a 40.5 vertical at 6'5", 240 pounds. So, there was a lot of talent on that football field this year, and that kind of leads me into the spring game. Replaced a lot of key guys, but you go out there was so much depth. The defense looks, incredible once again. Some guys on offense, obviously replacing Brian. DeShay Lander looked good at times. Also Larry Cutbirth at quarterback. I think it's hard to judge sometimes when you're playing against each other, but it looks to be another strong team once again here in 2015.
Yeah, I'd tell you, the thing that stood out was the speed on defense. Yeah. My goodness, it was fantastic. And when you got that type of athleticism, that type of speed, even when you do miss an assignment, you're able to overcompensate. In the spring game, it was great to see Blake Williams out there, first time in action. Obviously, our defense is going to be very, very talented, but I was impressed with the offense. Like you said, 2 quarterbacks played very well. It's going to be a fun season, no question about it.
I don't think there's any doubt. And then later in the day on Super Lion Saturday, went over and watched baseball, who's off to a fantastic start, 22-8, 9-3 in the Southland Conference, first overall. Coach Rogers done a tremendous job. And coming up on the show, we're going to take a look at the highlights of Game 2 against Nichols. Jay, probably since the Wade Miley days here, I don't know if I can remember a day with that many professional scouts there to watch Jake Johnson go against Grant Bourne of Nichols.
Yeah, Jake did a super job. Matt's got him playing at a high level right now. That's important this time of year. We're in first place in the Southland Conference again, and that's really good, this time of year. But Jake, like you said, our starting pitching has been outstanding. This team's fun to watch. We play very aggressively offensively. Matt's got his foot on the pedal. He's has him running the bases. Our starting pitching is going deep, and anytime you start pitching goes deep and you're putting pressure on teams like they are, you have a chance to win. And hopefully this weekend, we got Northwest coming to town. We're in first place, they're in second. We win this series, put some distance behind us. All we're worried about then is just get ready for the tournament and win that regular season championship.
Right now, Southeastern currently #1 in offense in several offensive categories in the Southland Conference. It's very a fun brand to watch. All right, and Jay, before we go to break, also we have to mention Coach Sean Brady and his track and field club. It's really kind of quietly one of the best programs on campus. They went to the San Marcos Invitational, put up some great numbers.
Yeah, last year, obviously, everybody knows about the 2 championships they won, and this week went against some really good competition down in San Marcos and did a great job competing. Really put up some amazing numbers and did a great job.
All right, well, let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll get to all the highlights right here on the Southeastern Sports Report presented by State Farm.
I am never getting married.
Never.
Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring.
Thank you. We're never having kids.
Breathe.
Fill a bit here.
We are never moving to the suburbs.
We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, State Farm is there.
This is Sean. We saw him holding a Bud Light, which means he's up for whatever happens. In this case, Jimmy Johnson.
I, Jimmy Johnson, challenge you to a little football game. Don't get nervous.
Are we ready?
I'm ready. Jimmy Johnson has dominated the electric football circuit.
Yeah, look at the little Jimmy run.
He's hurt.
He's pushing through. He's pushing through. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It's a win.
Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens.
Welcome back to the Southeastern Sports Report presented by State Farm. I want to thank Joe Ortiz, Athletic Director here at Southeastern Louisiana University, for stopping by and catching us up on all you need to know about Lion athletics, as he does each and every week right here on our program. We're now going to get to the highlights as the Lions softball team are at home in action against Sam Houston State. Here's the highlights.
Southeastern softball back at North Oak Park, taking on Southland Conference rival Sam Houston State in a 3-game series that opened up with a 4 p.m. doubleheader on Friday. For the game, in honor of Military Appreciation Day, Coast Guard member Anthony Regallo throws out the first pitch. Regallo married to former Lion first baseman Tamara Ladner. And early on, Sam Houston State would get the offense going against Taylor Bishop. Chop base hit over the head of Megan Moore. Sloan Jenkins was able to get an easy fly ball, and after Sam Houston State stole a base here, get a base hit from Sarah Allison up the middle into center field, put runners at the corners. Big strikeout there from Bishop. And then she gets Hillary Adams to end the threat in the top of the first.
For Sam Houston State in the top of the first, no run.
Kenzie Nichols, freshman out of Alvin, Texas, has been an impact player for Southeastern. She draws a 1-out walk, and then Sydney Booker launches a fly ball deep enough to center to allow the speedy Nichols to advance to second. Amber Souther, 10th in the nation in walks, draws one of her 27 on the year, and then Megan Moore draws a walk of her own to load the bases. That would bring up senior Teresa Lamos. First baseman launches one into right center field, and it just eludes both the right fielder and the center fielder, and everybody scores. Souther, Moore, and Nichols all come around to give Southeastern a 3-0 lead on the 3-run double by the senior out of El Rio, California. Bishop started to go to work after that, gets an easy ground ball from Megan Moore, then strikes out another Bearcat, maintain the 3-0 lead. Lacey Fritz at the plate for Southeastern, facing Mimi Quinn, and she strikes out. Then Bishop, another easy ground ball. Junior from Sugar Land was very efficient in this game. That brought up Kenzie Nichols. Hits one into the right center field gap, and the speedy Nichols races around to third. Stand-up triple, her 5th of the season. And then Megan Moore lines one, and the third baseman snags it and throws her out for the 3rd out, leaving Nichols stranded on third. More dominance from Bishop as she gets an easy pop-up. And then here comes Sloan Jenkins to the plate. A sophomore out of Katy, Texas, hits her 2nd double of the season. And then moves to third on a seeing eye single by Lacey Fritz. Runners at the corner, that brought up Katie LaCour, and again Southeastern strands some runners as LaCour retired. But Bishop continued to dominate. Gets an easy ground ball to Vanessa Ng, and then another one to the smooth Sydney Booker over at short. Amber Souther at the plate now for Southeastern. She lines one through past the shortstop, and then Megan Moore reaches on an error when first the pitcher can't handle an easy pop-up. That brought up Lamos, who lifted one to left, and More runners stranded for Southeastern. Sam Houston State trying to mount a rally as Allison lines one past the third baseman, but Bishop strikes out Hillary Adams. Lacey Fritz gives one a ride here, and the right fielder can't handle it, and Fritz into second easily with the stand-up double. That'll bring up Katie LaCour, and her patented bunt and run was effective there, and she easily beats the throw to first. Runners at the corner, here comes Kenzie Nichols, and she lines one up the middle. The second baseman can't quite handle it. Fritz scores, as does Vanessa Ing, and Southeastern builds on their lead. And with the 8-2 lead, that was plenty for Taylor Bishop, who gets an easy ground out to Sydney Booker to end the inning. So Southeastern now 9-2 on the season in conference play, their best start ever. They won the first game 8-2, came back in the second game and won 6-4. Sam Houston State avoided the sweep on Saturday with an 8-3 win in the finale.
Thanks, Kibler, and congratulations to the softball team for taking 2 out of 3 from Sam Houston State as the Lions softball team continues their hot start here in 2015 as they're off to a 9-2 Southland Conference record. We're now going to switch gears to football as recently 11 football seniors participated in Pro Day. Here's the story.
Neither the change of venue or the weather outside seemed to matter at all as a handful of former Lion football players went through Pro Day at the New Orleans Saints complex in Metairie, Louisiana last week.
Really having a good day. You know, I PR'd in a couple. My jumps, my bar jump 10.5, vertical 37.5. You know, so pretty good day.
Southeastern was represented well at the NFL event as double-digit former players went through the paces for the Scouts. Seniors Drew Masita and Isaiah Corbett put up some really impressive numbers.
Going good, man. I'm having a great day right now. You know, I just got done on bench, 21 reps on bench, so I mean, I'm happy with that. You know, we kind of burnt out, but I'm happy with all my results, man. My 40-time L drill, all that. So, man, go out here, finish strong in the drills, man, and, you know, just wrap it up.
The former Lions ran the 40-yard dash, did some shuttle and cone work, performed the broad jump, and tested their vertical leap before settling into the weight room to bench press 225 pounds as many times as they could.
I mean, I'm just enjoying the experience, you know, making the most of my opportunity. I mean, the process you have to enjoy, you know. I mean, we come out here and that's what we work for every day, so.
All the former Lions were happy with their numbers for the day, but as a spectator, you could tell all eyes were on former quarterback Brian Bennett.
Today was good. You know, I got an opportunity to come out and, you know, show some of the things that I could do. It's just another opportunity to, you know, perform in front of some people. So, you know, I was just happy to be out here and get the chance to compete again.
Bennett dazzled the Scouts with an array of throws he conducted with his trainer from Elite One out of California. And Brian was just looking to build off the success he had at the Senior Bowl and the NFL Combine.
I think, you know, the stage, being out there and throwing there, you know, it makes something like this, you know, a little bit easier to do. You know, I felt confident in what I was doing. And, you know, it's just every time you get to go out there and do what you do is a chance to gain experience.
For now, Brian will return to Southeastern and continue to work out for teams that bring him in as he gets ready for the NFL draft in May.
Coming off of back-to-back conference championships, you would expect the Lion football team to have several guys with a chance at the NFL, and 11 guys were at Pro Day, and we wish those guys the best of luck as they look to continue their football career. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll have more for you right here on the Southeastern Sports Report, presented by State Farm.
I want to pump you up.
No. You want to pump you up like
that's
that.
It.
You put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
I want to pump you up.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That was terrible.
This is not a joke. Let's try it again.
I want to pump you up.
It's like we're talking to a wall.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of sick game you're playing.
Knock, hello.
I want to pump you up.
I can't do this anymore.
Training is hard. Saving is easy. Get a discount double check today.
This is Sean. We saw him holding a Bud Light, which means he's up for whatever happens. In this case, Jimmy Johnson.
I, Jimmy Johnson, challenge you to a little football game. Don't get nervous.
Are we ready? I'm ready. Jimmy Johnson has dominated the electric football circuit.
Yeah, look at the little Jimmy run.
He's hurt.
He's pushing through. He's pushing through. Wait a minute. It's a winner.
Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens.
Welcome back to the Southeastern Sports Report presented by State Farm. As we went to break, we showed you those 11 seniors that participated in Football Pro Day. And now looking to the 2015 team, they recently had their spring game at Strawberry Stadium. Kimler Chappell has the highlights.
Head coach Ron Roberts and the two-time defending Southland Conference champion football team closing out spring practice with spring drills. Early on, Cody Sutton tries to break off a nifty run, but he's snuffed out in the backfield by Jordan Batiste. And a quick throw for a couple yards from Deshae Lander to Jarrell Bennett. He's forced out of bounds. And Landor tries to dump one off to Julius Marcelin, and he's stopped for a loss in the backfield. Sutton gets the white team on the board, races 10 yards around the left end and into the end zone. Nice run for the senior out of Texarkana, Texas. Then Landor dumps one to Eugene Bethea out of the backfield, and he breaks a few tackles and carries it all the way inside the 10-yard line. There's Bethea again with it, and he is stopped short of the goal line. After a goal line stand, the white takes over at the 1-yard line. Nearly lose one in the end zone, but the white team falls on it. But on the next play, Bethea snuffed out in the end zone for a safety. My host of Lions bring down the Lion sophomore. More highlights as Landor fires one complete and out of bounds. And it's Sutton again with it. Nice run there as Herbert Harris and J.Q. Sandoff bring him down. Lions fumble here, but the white team right there to recover it and maintain possession. Gold defense forced 3 turnovers in this game. Larry Cutbirth back to pass for Southeastern. Lion newcomer is sacked by Caleb Young. A nice throw there from Landor to Brandon Acker, another Lion newcomer. Cutbirth overshoots this one a little bit, and it's intercepted by Josh Dakin, one of his 2 interceptions.
So as you can see from those highlights, Coach Roberts and his staff has put together another fantastic team for spring football as the Lion football team looks to go for back-to-back-to-back Southland Conference championships in 2015. The spring football game was part of Super Lion Saturday, and right after that game, right across the way at Alumni Field, the baseball team took on Nichols to try to remain in first place in the Southland Conference. Here's the highlights. Absolutely gorgeous day at the Pat there at Alumni Field as the Lions get ready to take on Nichols State in Game 2. Super Lion Saturday, and John Daniel Gayran III going to throw out the first pitch for Gus O'Creppy, who hosted the big tailgate party before the game. And Matt, this was maybe the pitching matchup of the weekend nationally. Jake Johnson versus Grant Bourne. There was a lot of big league scouts there, and both these guys were impressive.
Yeah, you know, this was a game circle on their schedule early in the year that's going to see these 2 guys, these top 2 arms in the state. For the state of Louisiana and really in the area, in the southeast region. And both guys were pretty good. You know, I thought both offenses did a good job of grinding out some at-bats against them. You saw them with a leadoff hit. We do a good job here in the bottom of the first of scoring first. Jacob Williams drops in the triple there down the line. He's very aggressive, coming all the way to third base. And, you know, this is what we needed. We talked about it from the get-go that we were going to have some productive at-bats against the lefty. Doesn't give a ton of hits. When we got a chance to knock some guys in, we had to do just this. You get a run at third base, less than 2 outs. Daniel Miniet does a fantastic job just going right back up the middle. Even if it's a ground out, we still get the run there, and we had to find any way we could to score runs. And then you see they come right back at it. They do a good job here. The lefty does a good job getting a single back up the middle. They kind of squirt one in here on a hit and run, just right inside the line, just right over the first baseman's head in the right spot. They get first and third. You know, Jake early threw a lot of strikes, but felt like he was missing a lot of locations. Probably didn't have his best stuff of the year. As you see, he left a 2-strike ball that's supposed to be off the plate, elevated there. They get a base knock, tie the ball game up. But just really proud of Jake to eliminate the big inning. do a good job of keeping us in the ball game. And they ended up going 7 innings, only giving up 1 run.
Yeah, they had a chance to really go ahead here by a few runs, and he did a great job limiting the damage, keeping it a tied ball game. A great job. They had the bases loaded there with 1 out, back-to-back punch outs, gets out of it, and you can see the emotion. He knows that was a big sequence in the game.
Yeah, and we really did. We knew we were going to have to keep them low scoring, especially with their lefty on the mound, having their guy. And like you said, Jake kind of settled in after that, did a good job of really going this changeup. You can see how much the changeup was moving. Really had guys out in front, popping up, swinging and missing. Did a really fantastic job when he wasn't locating his fastball of using that all-speed pitch there.
Thought we really did a really good job offensively, Matt, of controlling the strike zone against Bourne. Had such good stuff, but really laid off some tough pitches and took some good walks there to be able to give you some opportunities to score.
Again, it was all about having some productive bats. You know, we were tied on a 1-1 ball game. The next 3 runs we would score after that actually all came without a hit. You see the couple walks there. We put the ball on the ground there, put some pressure on the defense. They misplayed the double play ball there to load the bags up. Again, we put another ball on the ground here. They misplayed the double play again, throw it over with the error throw there, and allows us to score 2 runs. But it's about putting pressure on defense. You know how our offense works, and sometimes before we ever go in a ball game, that pressure is already there with our speed and our team athleticism.
Moore comes back in with a nice fastball to get out of damage, but you go up 3-1 here early in the ball game, and you know really that was enough for Jake Johnson on this day.
That would be it. That was really all he would need. And again, proud of our guys. You see another just productive at bat, doing a good job of laying off balls out of the zone and taking our walks. You know, didn't walk a ton of guys coming into the game, but we did a good job of, like I said, you know, just doing a good job with the zone and. Again, putting pressure on them. You know, we got 1st and 3rd here, 1 out. Again, it was about execution offense. You saw us execute the hit and runs. We perfectly execute the push here. We get in there before the tag and really put that pressure on them. We scored another run here without a hit.
Jacob Seward, once again, we called his name a lot here tonight. Nice fly ball, which will drive in a run. Chris Eads going to rumble and stumble in there for an insurance run there in the ninth. Lions win on an absolutely perfect day for baseball. Alumni Field is a big crowd. I'll tell you, it was a very exciting day. Great pitching matchup between Jake Johnson and Grant Bourne. One of the most heavily attended games by professional scouts in recent memory for Southeastern baseball right there at Alumni Field. It was really awesome to watch. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to wrap it up here on the Southeastern Sports Report presented by State Farm.
I am never getting married.
Never.
Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring.
Thank you. We're never having kids.
Come over here.
We are never moving to the suburbs.
We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, State Farm is there.
Welcome back to the Southeastern Sports Report presented by State Farm. Now joined by the head football coach of your Southeastern Lions, defending back-to-back conference champions, Coach Ron Roberts. Coach, thanks for stopping by and spending some time with us. You just finished up spring practice, had the spring game. We just took a look at all those highlights. First, just talk about how you thought spring went as a whole.
I thought it went really well. I thought we got to take a look at a lot of new guys, got them in situations to get plenty of reps so we can evaluate them. I think we got a lot of new guys. I'm putting, redshirt freshmen, some transfers we brought in at the midterm. I think they came a long way. I think we got several of them that got themselves into the can-do category, and they're going to be able to help this team immediately and help us on the field. And I think we answered a lot of our questions.
One of the storylines going into spring was new defensive coordinator Blake Williams got here. Actually got here, I believe, the second day of spring, so he kind of got thrown right to the fire. Talk about him, his addition to your staff, and how he adapted to the defense.
Yeah, obviously, I think our kids handled that whole situation pretty well. Also, he loses DC, and it's actually right in the beginning of spring practice, and actually our guys that have been here have done it 2 years in a row. So I think they have handled and adapted that very well. Blake's done a tremendous job. I'm real excited about his addition to our staff, to our program. His passion for football, his knowledge, just everything he brings to the table. Ability to communicate with players, ability to get them to perform at a high level. So I'm excited about that. It happened also kind of quick. He got in here day of practice 2. It's the first time he actually gets to gets on the field. It's really practice 3, I think with all that turmoil and all those things that happened, I thought it was an excellent spring, and I think our guys responded to the adversity very well.
All right, let's talk about the quarterback situation. I know a lot of our fans want to know about that with the departure of Brian Bennett. Larry Cutbirth, Deshae Lander, they were really the head-to-head battle there in the spring. Talk about those two guys and how they performed in the spring practice.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Deshae, just a leadership standpoint and how he handled everything, and maturity. He took a huge leap forward. I think it helped, obviously, the end of the year. Lester and Brian was hurt. He comes in, gets quite a bit of playing time and stuff, and just had a whole different comfort level when he stepped up and got underneath the center this spring. And threw the ball, I think, better than he has thrown it since he's been here. So that was really great to see. Larry Cutbirth came in again. It was one of those late additions. He gets in here the day of spring practice, so goes through. He can throw it very well. Is exactly what we thought. He throws the ball exceptionally well. It's probably a tough offense for somebody to learn in 14 practices to do that. But I thought he did a great job. It's going to take him probably at least in the fall camp where he can get comfortable with everything and be able to take command. So right now, going in the fall, Deshae's our guy, and I'm real excited about it. And I think he's a guy who's going to win a lot of football games for us.
All right, let's talk quickly about some former Lions. 11 Lions participated in Pro Day. Once again, it looks like you're going to have several of your former players have a chance to move on and play at the next level.
Yeah, every report, feedback I've got from scouts and everything and coaches is that our guys did really well. I know Brian threw the ball exceptionally well down there, and he's the one who most people are going to start with asking about. But our other guys tested exceptionally well. Drew Masita, Chris Malott, Isaiah Corbett, Devontae Scott. We had some other, there was other guys that did really well, but I think those are the guys that really stand out is that their numbers they put up were pretty exceptional.
Well, Coach, I know it's now time to get in the weight room and get ready for fall practice. Encourage our fans to buy season tickets as the season will be here before we know it.
Oh yeah, it's right around the corner. We're excited about it and looking forward to it in that home opener, Northwestern State. Or not home opener, but our opener versus Northwestern State. And we're looking forward to going after a third conference championship.
Looking forward to it as well. All right, that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Southeastern Sports Report presented by State Farm.